just get ready to let's get ready to send it. This one.
I finally beat a run on Regent like 20 minutes ago. I've been trying it for like a week.
Dude, I had the funniest fucking I think it was the Regent. Oh, who was it? I'm trying to think of, it wasn't the Silent, it wasn't Defect.
Necrobinder?
It was Necrobinder. It was Necrobinder. Oh, hang on, sorry. Amber Call.
Oh man. He had a run on Necrobinder. He probably got like 5 quintillion souls and then just threw cards down constantly.
Fair.
Damn.
Or you get one of those builds where your Asti is like has 100 health, so you're never allowed to take damage because Asti's just eating all of it. Some of the builds are crazy.
While we are waiting, I have not gone back to catch up on all the things I need to do. I plan to do that eventually. I have lots of things to catch up on. Instead, I'm reading something new. Because yeah, I'm reading Baby Steps. Which I'm having a very good time. That's the other tennis manga.
Okay.
That's the more realistically grounded tennis manga, at least so far, 50-some chapters in.
I finally I apparently was like 3 chapters behind on basically all of the manga, so now I did that.
Yeah, I gotta catch up on a couple of things.
The only one I'm behind on right now, or the ones I'm behind on right now are Mage Next Door and Hematen, I think. Because I'm like 15 chapters behind on Hematen.
The Lion does not concern himself with how far behind he is on like every manga that isn't called Akadebanashi Blue Box.
Well, that's because Akadebanashi is
One
the
Punch
fucking GOAT!
I'm
This
still
chapter...
like 3 behind on all 3 of those, but like...
Dude! You have to catch up on
Okay, Sean, I'm not more than a year behind on them like I am on Hematen.
True, but you gotta catch up on it.
I'm at chapter 29 if you...
Wait, are you 3 behind on...
69 of
you're...
Hematen.
Okay, you're fully caught up on Akadebanashi, though.
No.
No, you're 3 behind. Fix that.
Oh,
right?
I'm like 5 behind.
Right,
Crazy. I didn't realize like, I ended up that far behind. I'm at 194 on Akadebanashi.
Now's
the same amount on Blue Box.
Now's a really good time to catch up on both of those, actually. Exactly
Blue
both of
Boxes.
those.
Yeah, I was 3 behind on One Punch Man, but One Punch Man's a 5. Or One Punch Man's whenever the fuck they feel like it, actually.
Michael, you're not reading Kagurabachi, correct?
No.
Okay. Sean,
I think I read like the first chapter. I was like, this is kind of.
I am 13 chapters behind.
Okay.
Which is
You
a crazy
really-
a crazy place to have stopped reading, by the
Dude,
way. It's
you
where I was.
need to catch up.
I was in an
It's
absolutely
so-
crazy place.
It's
I like how farther into Dogs Red than I thought.
oh,
Yeah, I'm like 13
I'm
behind
for-
on. I'm 13 behind on most of my shit. With the exception of like things that I'm even further behind on. Like I'm either 13.
Like I'm also behind on Chibi Inu stuff. That I knew. I didn't
oh,
realize I
that's
was.
also been really good lately.
I didn't realize I got to 37 in Dogs Red. I thought it was a lot farther behind on that one.
Where am I? I'm on 55.
It feels like by 37 in Dogs Red, actually nothing is happening.
I'm on 55 in Dogs. Red,
They
so I
do a whole
gotta
lot
read
of nothing at that manga.
The first priority is Chainsaw Man. That's the first priority because that'll be ending in 2 days. So
behind.
I will go to read that.
I've read like 3 chapters of One Piece or whatever. I started the first of the flashback batch.
Whoa, you're not even in
I'm
God
like- I'm
Valley
going
yet,
to-
probably.
No, I think I'm at the. They just set up like Garp and Roger being
Yeah.
at the same place, which I think is what's going to lead us into God Valley talks. But like most I've gotten is Loki existing,
Yep.
his father being the goat that he is,
Correct.
and also Rox exists.
Correct.
So
Oh,
I
so
know.
you've gotten to my favorite panel of all time, which is they One Piece spoilers for manga readers, for people who aren't reading the mangas because the anime's not there yet. But they just fucking show rocks and they just subtitle it "Father of Blackbeard," a piece of information you
Yeah.
just did not know.
At the end of a chapter, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
the
they-
last page of chapter, like, By the way, is basically what it says.
It's just like,
Where's
oh,
Izabek?
Oh, we're
Father
just
of
calling
Black...
that, huh?
it's
Just
like,
like, oh,
it's like, yeah,
okay.
I maybe could have inquired on that given the fact of what
I mean,
Blackbeard's
it's a
ship is
theory, but,
called, but
like-
yeah.
But that's also just one of those, like, we didn't know if it was, like, a familial thing or just he really liked Zabak.
Vibes.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we
Wait,
knew
did we-
Rox's
did
last
they
name.
have the same ship
No,
name?
I
Is
don't
that-
think we know. Well, no, his
Blackbeard's
No.
ship is named the Saber of Sabak.
yeah,
Oh, I just knew it as Saber. I didn't realize it had a
yeah,
longer
it has a
title.
longer name. Yeah,
I just knew it as Saber, and I was like, what does Saber have to do with Zabek? A
Yeah.
lot of people use swords.
true.
Excalibur?
True.
All I'll say about the most recent chapter is, I constantly see One Piece Reddits just fucking complain and whine about all of One Piece in its modern state forever. And of course, one of the biggest things I see them complain and whine about is Usopp. And while there is plenty of good criticism about Usopp, it's weird that I haven't seen anyone complaining about Usopp with this newest chapter coming out. This might be all we're getting. I hope it's not, but this might be all we're getting. Well, we'll
I
see.
hope not.
I also hope not.
But also, we end with the classic, someone is pissed, so shit's
Yeah.
about to ensue.
The problem is that this arc and Egghead have both not felt, for as long as they have been going, which is crazy to say, neither of them have been large enough battle arcs to get the entire Straw Hat crew fighting. Which is, I
Yeah.
think, one of the major problems, is that, like, the last time all of the Straw Hats were actively fighting in, like, serious fights was Wano. And, like, that's an insane sentence given how long ago that was.
Yeah.
And the problem is, none of the Wano fights have stakes for the Straw Hats. Not a single
yeah,
Straw
it's
Hat
all
has,
stakes
like,
for Wano.
for Wano. Yeah, so really the last time any of the Straw Hats fought with, like, any kind of stakes, like, personal stakes involved was what? Whole Cake? Crazy.
Yeah.
And even then, that's not all of them, because Whole Cake
Yeah,
and Dressrosa
yeah,
very
it splits
specifically split the crew in half each time,
Yeah.
because he knew how difficult it would be to get the full crew in a fight at this point.
Yeah.
Get them all in meaningful fights.
Well, with the supporting cast characters around as well is what makes it difficult, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
but that's neither here nor there. Instead, we're an anime podcast. Austin is not here, and that is okay. Because he doesn't have a show to talk about anyway, so it's fine. We made this working out great.
True.
It's just us four, baby, us four. We got 4 shows to talk about tonight. We're gonna be talking about episode 9 of Fate and episode 10 of everything else. I thought about it. I was right. I was doing my math right. The episode for Polar Opposites won't be out until the morning of the podcast if we do finale.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll just
Yeah, like it's out today.
that is probably fine. It just means for sure you won't have the dub because the dub has been coming out a week late now.
Wait, no, I want to
So-
say, yeah, it was next week. John's busy with birthday stuff,
Is it?
right? Isn't that what that was?
A bit. I should be free on the Sunday.
Were we doing? I forgot. Were we doing the
I'll get
29th or
details
were we
on it.
doing the 5th?
I
we're
thought
doing
we
the
were gonna
5th.
skip to
We're
the
doing the 5th.
yeah.
Oh, then everything
we're
will
doing
be
the
out and we'll
5th.
be fine.
I
Perfect.
think we had to, yeah, because of Austin stuff too.
Okay.
I was gonna say, real quick,
Perfect.
Slay the Tires tangent before I got pulled away by laundry. I did a Necrobinder run that was funny because I got the floor 2 boon that is put clone on a card.
Mm.
Close.
The auto win button if you have the right cards. And the card I had was Asti, punch something for 25 damage. Increase this damage by 5 for every card that says Asti does damage in your deck. And I
Ah.
cloned it a lot.
Oh, what the fuck is that? one?
I got to the point where it's a 3-cost card. So it's an expensive card. But it was doing 418 damage per cast. So I won the run.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, there
'cause
are
I
many
drew about-
enemies that can survive that.
Yes, the final boss on most runs can survive it. But not much else besides that. Which was funny. See, that was good.
I
Good run.
I didn't end up getting the run fully going, but I almost got an infinite off, or I did get it off once, but I didn't get it off in the final boss and I died. Where I was playing Regent and there's the card that says if you draw or when you draw a card with strike, just play it. and or sorry, no,
That's Ironclad.
Ironclad.
Yeah,
Excuse
'cause that's Hellraiser.
yeah, no. Sorry, it wasn't on Regen, it was Ironclad. And I did get that off. And just Pommel Strike. 2 of them. And you just, if you manage to exhaust your deck, which I did, you can just play them infinitely.
Yeah. Or you get the thing where your deck just is entirely strikes at that point. You play the one that draw until you draw a non-attack card,
Yep.
and you just draw until your opponent dies.
Nice.
Anyway,
We're a podcast, and we're
Yeah.
going to have
Talk about anime.
spoilers, and we have a PR ranking. Everybody had
stands for power.
yeah, PR ranking. A power. Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Our ranking.
No, it's just a power rank. No, it's just a power. We just abbreviate power to 2 letters now. That's how we do it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. Because my power ranking is silly. I by far think this is the best episode of Fate in the entire show so far, and I think it's better than everything else this week, which is why it's number 1. That doesn't. I notoriously power rank weekly. With some consideration sometimes for like the overall thing, but like I'm not gonna skip out on giving a show its number 1 spot if I think it deserves it, and I absolutely think this week's episode of Fate's incredible.
It's sick as fuck.
So like we'll talk about it because
I'll
it's literally.
explain why I don't think it's sick as fuck.
That's
when we
fine.
get there.
That's totally cool. We're literally gonna talk
That's
about it
cool.
first. So, I mean, Michael,
Yeah.
fucking
So
have a ball. With
this
one.
episode, is majority of its time is spent with battles. So your main fight that starts it is we start where we ended last episode. The Clan Palatine goes, "Hey, that's Cerberus. That's a problem, and that's a thing on top of Cerberus because they don't know Hercules and Cerberus yet. I don't think that's been a known thing to the police group quite yet. So they see it and they go, that's bad." And then Flat shows up with Jack, and Jack starts doing some bullshit. Flat's actually just watching from like a clock tower across town, doing flat things. He's just talking to Hans as they're fucking commentating the fight that's occurring. And we see Jack starts pulling out his Noble Phantasm and shit against Hercules. So we learn Jack's entire shtick is that he can essentially create hell and gets his Noble Phantasms that he gets to kind of be in the form of a demon, because the idea is that the only thing that could have done the things Jack the Ripper did back in that time would have been a demon. There is no human that could have done the things he did. So in the mind of the people, he was a demon that did all these crazy things. And because of the fact that he doesn't have a defined form, that could be anyone, so they make it so he can just get like a gazillion clones of himself in this demon form, and he does crazy shit. And while this is happening, Richard shows up with Ayaka as Gilgamesh shows up to be Gilgamesh, because he's like, I saw two really strong people fighting here. That sounds kind of cool. Then he goes. So we get Richard and Gilgamesh starting to fight, but we don't get much of that one. We kind of just get Richard shows up, Gilgamesh starts throwing the Gates of Babylon armory opening at him. And Richard goes, "Well, these swords are awesome. Can I have one?" And Gilgamesh goes, "Fuck you." And he goes, "Okay, I'm going to take one." So he starts using one of Gilgamesh's swords. We don't really get much of that fight. Most of this fight is built around Jack and Hercules fighting, which ends with Jack doing some crazy bullshit with his swarm of giant bat copies of himself all flying in the sky, to Hercules tanking the whole fucking thing because he's Hercules, then revealing his Noble Phantasm, which is that he can steal Noble Phantasm. Because, of course, why not?
Oops.
And Jack goes, "Oh, that's a problem." And this then leads into a really, really... It's not supposed to be funny, but it's done in a way where it ends up being a little funny, but it's also dark as fuck. Where, I can't find his fucking name.
Just John.
Orlando?
It's
I wanna
not.
say
It's
I can't
not
remember his last
Orlando.
name. No, it's not. It's the blonde guy who has the gauntlet in the
Yeah,
last
it's John.
episode.
Yeah, it's
John.
John.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Me?
Trying to find his last name.
Not
I can't
you.
remember.
The
I
other
get the
John.
gauntlet?
You
Oh.
don't want to be this John.
John with an H.
Yeah,
I really don't want to be this John after how his day went.
but he's like, we get like a thing. He's like, I have to do this.
His,
Oh, it's John Wingard.
I was
There
gonna
it
say
is.
his name is
I just-
literally
I
the
kept-
last thing they say, right?
Yeah, I know. I just kept missing it in the character list.
Yeah.
Because his character list has no distinct order. He's right before True Writer in this list. He's like, yes, he has like flashback. He's like, I gotta go be a hero, do heroic things, and just gets fucking one tapped, fucking dead on the wall from a single impact from Hercules.
Hercules is like, I admire your bravery. Bink!
Yeah, that's where we end. Herc is a problem right now. We also had
Okay.
Jester also commentating from the sidelines, doing Jester bullshit, trying to get Assassin to come out and exist. Oh, we also get. Oh, I forgot about the talk between Assassin and False Assassin and Sigma. We get a decently long talk between the two of them, which gives us hints as to kind of who Assassin is and what her motivation is. Is that she, again, my interpretation is that she is a saint or something of that type. She is one very religious and she wants to help children. Where Sigma goes, yeah, but you didn't help me. And she goes, yeah, it's kind of my bad. And he goes, there's literally no way you could have helped me. And she's like, well, technically no. But something, legacy, creating an organization to help children. And it's like, damn. Ouch, right into feels.
So if she's a saint and she's the saint of children, she would be Saint Nicholas, which means she would be Santa Claus.
Which is awesome.
My thought was they're doing a thing on Mother Teresa.
That was also what Michael
That was-
said.
that-
That
that
was
was my
also
thing. My
what
immediate
Michael
thought
said.
was
Yeah.
just Mother
So-
Teresa.
Yes, that was what Michael thought.
Mother Teresa, the assassin, sounds
Mother
so
Mother
funny.
Teresa,
It's so funny.
Mother Teresa, well-known vampire hater.
Yeah, she uses the hand of God.
Hey, right next to Abe Lincoln, Vampire Slayer. What can we say?
Exactly.
True.
But my only issue I have with this episode, the reason why it's a little bit below sentence, is because we are super late. It feels like into this show, and no, like, big, like actual combatants. I mean, obviously the one guy, Jean, is super toast, but like none of our like main cast has been really killed yet, and it feels like it's just a lot of action with no consequence to a degree right now. Obviously, like Jack getting his phantasm yoinkied is kind of an issue, but we haven't seen how that plays. Like, does he get to just use it? Does he just steal it? We just don't know. And I feel like we're getting like very late into the show for not like it feels like all the resolutions are going to just happen immediately at once. If that makes sense.
I mean, I agree with you. I think
Maybe
a
that's if it ends
I think a
first,
lot
but-
I think a lot of people are gonna be out of action when we're done with this fight. I will be real with you. I think we're gonna have like two or three servants gone when we're done. Because like we haven't even touched half of the people who are gonna be involved in this.
I will say though, I just love Saber going, "Hey,
Yes.
these swords are really cool and nice. Can I have some, please?"
I do enjoy the fact that he's like, these are all masterpieces. I would really like to use these. And
Just a
Gilgamesh
couple.
is like,
Can I just have a
shut
couple? Like
up,
three?
I hate you.
Gilgamesh is like, yes, you are correct, but also no, go to hell, die.
These are mine.
These are amazing for people that deserve them, and you are not one of them, mongrel.
And he also
said you could-
connects that he had fought Enkidu because of the way he's dodging around the spears, because Enkidu and Gil fight in a very similar way.
Mm.
It's very
He was
good.
It is.
Him also going like, "Huh, I just had a fight very similar to this, except the roles were reversed."
Yeah. Except like he was on the ground.
And you're in the sky. Well, I don't know. I just think these two fights visually are incredible. And I really enjoy the dialogue between Herc and Jack. I think it's a very engaging conversation about what it means to be human. It's like from their perspectives, it's very fun. Jack having this mentality of like, I am a demon because of the fact that humanity made me so, and like the fine line between being a human and becoming a demon is incredibly thin. In fact, it's almost more likely for man to become a demon with the way they work. There's also just such a really fun setup of the whole to gain control over Hercules, his master had to essentially go remember what humanity was like consider all of what humanity is, and now like fight for it. To then have Jack be like, cool, you're very human. You're like not a god. I can kill that. I kill humans all the time. That's really easy.
I love the oh look at you, just a human.
Yeah.
Who could be slain by just a common killer. Is a fucking
Yeah.
ice cold
Bars.
line. Holy shit. Every
he's-
line Jack says this episode is sick.
Him living like, I'm a human who can kill gods, whereas you're a god who can't even kill humans.
Dude,
It's such a flex, and he just gets humbled real fast at the end there.
And then Herc goes, open Pandora,
Give me-
open
give
the
me-
gates
give me-
of Pandora or
give me that.
whatever.
we
It's
get
just-
real fucking silly with it, and I kind of love it. No, there's also just like I really enjoy like a lot. This episode's just a straight ride through the entire time of like, yes, cool, we've built up to this moment of a huge fight, and the payoffs are feeling really good so far. We're not done with it, obviously. So like for me, it's hard to critique it and like okay, well, what are like this still needs to happen. Well, yeah, it's got time, you know. It's an episode behind other things, but it also has an extra fucking hour built into it. So like, it has advantages, it has disadvantages to where it's at. Like it still has time to hit a couple of larger points.
Yeah.
It really boils down to me that I think that Polar Opposites. I think that everything else this week, their episodes are their normal, really solid, like above the board, like great quality. But I don't think any of the other episodes this week feel anywhere close to the highs they've had previously, which is fine. For me personally, which is why I'm like, I will give it to Fate this week because I think it had a stellar week. Now, how is that going to impact voting? That's a good question. Just because it's where it's at doesn't mean necessarily that it's avoided being the thing going off this week. What is the conversation for it? That is the question. We'll have to talk about Sentence. And, you know, because let's not beat around the bush. That's the conversation. What's going off the podcast this week? This or Sentence to be a Hero?
Exactly.
I don't think any of us have any plans to be shooting anything else.
I don't know, man. Polar Opposites pretty mid.
True, just like Horimiya.
True.
Anything could happen.
All right. Any more comments on Fate?
Fuck it,
is-
the music hit when Richard starts like doing a dodge of the initial.
Dude,
like,
what the
flurry
fuck?
of Babylon.
What the fuck was that OST tonight? Oh my
It's
god.
great.
It's incredible.
Yes, sorry, Mason, you started to say something.
This episode is really good. I agree with, like, I understand your take, Sean, of putting
Yeah.
it at #1 because it is a fantastic episode. But I also agree with you in the sense of how does this really great episode pull it up from. Does it save it from its complexity of being overly complex and having some things pulling it down versus Sentenced is kind of my thought, which we'll talk about with Sentenced.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah,
Well, speaking of, hey John,
Yeah.
it's Sentenced.
So in Sentence this week, we actually kind of almost like hard cut because I had to make sure I was on the right episode this week. So I
Yeah.
was a little confused with where we started because we just
Mhm.
kind of hard cut to
Yeah.
them, which again, not a fan of. I will agree with that for sure.
Well, I guess
We
let's.
basically hard cut to them going from like looking outside, seeing this guy, shelling them with artillery to suddenly everything's fine. We're just like, hold up a little bit here for now, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
In which they're like, okay, we gotta plan our counter siege because apparently the Furies and this new Demon King and the Interlopers have taken control of this one tower off the coast, and they clearly have a lot of artillery. However, this one tower off the coast just so happens to have the wind blowing at its back to perfectly aim at the city, so they can just shell us with artillery basically on cooldown. which they're like, okay, well, we need to mount a defense and not let the city just explode and die. What do we do? And their solution is, all right, hero unit, you go defend the people. We're gonna let the soldiers and the knights defend the rich people in the military. Which, you know, awesome, very cool, very fun. Classic. The nobles are more important than the masses. In which Xylo's like, that's bullshit, but we'll do what we got to do. To which we finally release Rhino from jail, and in the process, we also have Kivia walking in on our boy Venitum, who is in a library that's supposed to only be for officers. How do you get in there? Anyways, not important. To which she's like, hey, you're not supposed to be in there. And he's like, oh, you're right. Yeah, totally. My bad. Anyways, I was just leaving, but like, talk to you later. And just happens to like leave this book on the shelf, basically. Puts his book back that he was looking at. To which Kivia pulls out and is very upset about for some reason that we find out later. Likely has something to do with her family, and the church. So as they're getting their plans together, Venium, as the attack's starting, tries to go and negotiate to get their Dragon Rider back, because they'll be like, hey, we really need like more help with this, but they're not gonna let us fly a dragon in the city. However, if say the Furies happen to start destroying some trade ships, they'll have to go defend the trade ships. And so that's exactly what happened, is they so happened to catch on fire by maybe, I don't know, an artillery blast in the distance from Rhino, to which draws them a little bit more reinforcements and gets their Dragon Rider unlocked for combat. And on top of that, also he makes another side comment while in there, directed towards this. He says, he basically says, and give my regards to the
Archbishop, right?
the
It's the
bishop.
high priest.
High priest. Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
it's the priest
It's
that's
her uncle.
underneath
It's
this
her uncle.
saint. Basically her uncle, and she goes,
Yeah.
how fucking dare you talk about my uncle like that? And he's like, I didn't say anything this time, like this one's actually not on me. And then basically, yeah, go ahead.
No, he's just like, what I meant to say was you should
We should guard the waterways.
we should guard
to
the
keep
waterway.
the church safe is what I was trying just to ask for, which he kind of like didn't plan on doing, but kind of threw in there anyways to cover his own ass, because the Venitum is like, it's pretty good at like talking out of his ass when he needs to. To which he goes, yeah, I got the reinforcements and that, cool. They start rolling out. Kivia meets up with Marlin, her uncle, who somehow managed to unite the military and the church to mount this defense. That's really awesome. That's great. And right before they
Nothing
go off to
goes wrong
battle,
when we give the church a military.
Don't worry about it.
yeah. To which he makes a little
The
gesture
church already has a
and goes-
military.
and goes,
It's true.
he goes, praise Saint
Mahazel.
Mahazel. To which Kivia like twinges at and is like, is this actually my uncle? We're hinting at things I don't like. Because we did find out that they kind of have a little bit of memories of the people they possess, basically, the interlopers or coexisters, as I believe they're called. So, yeah, a lot of little things going on here. Not a lot of definitive like results. We do see Rhino in action for the first time, in which he has similar artillery blast to what we saw last episode from the bad guy hired mercenary. Very similar outfit too, except his is a little more edgy and dark and like glows red and green when he's using the energy. And also, interestingly enough, he can both fire blasts out of it and create shields, which is actually very handy.
He's also
and he
fucking
might
insane.
Might or might not accidentally blow off the top of a building and kill a bunch of things, and they all go, good job. Can we not destroy all the houses? We
Again.
find out that the reason why he was in jail, because he might have leveled a couple cities in exchange for saving the people. He's like, they just told me to save the people. They didn't say I couldn't level the cities if it was good.
He shelled civilian housing.
Which we also mentioned, failed to mention, sorry, at the start, is that when he comes with the plan, he's like, Xylo, I have an idea for how we can get support and fix this problem. We just break the walls, and then they have to come help, because then the enemies can get in through the big walls. And he's like, no, you can't just destroy the city. And he goes, rats. Anyway, Xylo, what's your plan?
I mean, Xylo still lets him blows up ships, so it's all okay. Fucking Rhino's insane.
Yeah.
These people are already insane. He's a different caliber of insane. He's
I
so
like that
insane.
every single character in this group is just different types of insane.
Yeah.
Look,
You have delusional, which is the king. You have mentally unstable, or mentally insane, which is what's
Tetsuya.
his name? Tetsuya. You have Rhino, who's just clinically insane.
yeah, Rhino is an actual psychopath.
Yeah,
He's
because
a sociopath.
Because again, he's a volunteer hero, which I think
Yeah.
they might have mentioned this earlier. Like I feel like at the beginning of the show, I think Xylo mentions it when they're talking. I think he mentions earlier that there are people who have volunteered for it. Yeah, Rhino's just one of those because he wants to just kill things. He just wants to.
Wants to blow shit
Just
up.
wants to. He just
Blow
wants
shit
to
up.
shell fairies. It's insane.
Oh, and then if you guys didn't watch after the credits, the underwater also isn't very safe because they sent soldiers to seal up the underground and protect it. But the problem is, someone else is down there too. Mujum is down there with them, and he just goes,
Yeah.
"Hey guys, just make this easy on me. A painless death is much better than a painful one," and then just turns into a monster demon and just fucking kills them all in like a second. You just see like a head fly off, and you're like, "Oh, that's gonna be a problem."
This was a very funny episode to have a friend of mine watch for the first time for this show. This was their introduction.
There's
to
a
the
whole
show.
lot of stuff going on to this show for to be watching this specific episode.
Man, Kivya
They
just
were-
Kivya seems bad shit insane if you're just watching this episode.
Yeah.
Kivya needs a fucking nap this episode.
That was
Dude,
literally her.
is it-
That was their like immediate reaction was, man,
Her eyes look
her eyes are
so bad this episode.
they were literally like, Curly needs a nap. Like,
Yeah.
it's great.
So okay, so let's talk about it because this is probably the biggest thing about this episode is the opening, right? So I guess you can see this coming because at the end of last week's episode, their artillery guy is in the sewers too. So he clearly stopped the bombardment. Which was the thing I wanted to talk about last week because it bothered me how like the show framed it that like they were constantly under fire and yet he is also in the sewers for like the big meetup. So like very clearly the idea was he provided the covering fire so that
They can catch him in the sewer.
so they could catch him in the sewers, and then they pulled out to get all of their troops
get the army
together
there,
to
basically,
then
yeah.
invade. Yeah, it's
Siege
just
the city.
the tone of the show from last episode does not, I think, convey that very well.
It literally felt like, all right, we're gonna go fight them
Yes.
right now
Yeah,
and find this guy, and then they found the remains in the sewer. Basically, went, well, that's all we got. House burned
Damn.
down. This is all we got.
Damn, they took
Rocks
over the
fell-
lighthouse or
It
whatever.
literally was like rocks fell, everybody died. Anyways,
damn, they took over the lighthouse.
not the lighthouse. But yeah, no, I agree. It's similar to the problem I have with Fate, where it's like stuff happened, but like also stuff didn't happen this week.
I mean, this is also
Yeah, I
building
agree.
into. I mean, this is probably our last arc of this season, given where we are. So, like, this is probably our last fight that we're gonna get. Which also means we're probably not gonna get full resolution on the Kivia stuff. We'll probably figure out what exactly is going on, but we won't. I don't know if we'll wrap it fully.
We've got 2 demon lords to kill.
Yeah. I don't
And
know. I don't know
fireworks
if we're
are
gonna.
going
I
to
don't
shoot.
know if we're gonna kill both of them. I think we're probably gonna kill one, and the other's
No,
gonna get
yeah, I
away.
I feel
imagine
like we're
we get
due
Bujum out of here.
for them to
Don't
kill
imagine
one
we
of the
get the other one.
archbishops or something at the end of this, and I feel like that's going to cause a lot of unhappy people. We'll say.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael, you wanna talk about Sentence because I know you have general thoughts about it.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like, talking about this episode in particular first, but like,
Okay.
this episode, that was solid. Rhino's introduction's great. We get a lot of stuff with Rhino. I
We
enjoyed
love a good
every
sociopath.
stuff with Kivia going around learning shit,
I
just constantly being tired about everything people are tagged. She's like, God damn it.
I do really like Rhino and Xylo's dynamic in particular. Because you have someone who is borderline insane enough to be like, yes, I am a volunteer hero. I am saving the people. And Xylo, who is someone who is actually what most people would consider a hero, who had spent most of his life saving people, being like, no, you're not. Can you just shut up? I don't like hearing you talk ever, and all your ideas are bad. And it's they bounce off each other in a way that I do really like. He shows Rhino shows up and Michael goes, he's a vampire. I go, no, Michael, people just look like that in this show. He goes, well, yeah, he is in broad day. He's like, he is in daylight, like he's clearly getting hit by the sun, but he's a vampire, Sean.
Hey, listen, not all vampires burn in the daylight. That's just a myth.
True. I also do really enjoy the scene where they're at the church and Terrorita is giving out autographs to give people blessings, and you just have the two little girls who are like, that's Xylo Forbarts. Xylo's so cool. And he's like, no, don't do that. That's not, no, you're not
Don't
supposed
say
to do
that.
that.
Fans.
He's like, no, we don't do that
And then-
anymore.
And then you have like the guy who's definitely not a bad guy. We promise, guys. Her uncle go, hey, can you keep my niece safe? Basically, I know you have a wife and all, but like it'd be really cool as they get cut off by like the war. He's really about to be like, it'd be really cool if you could keep Kivia safe, you know, look out for her, and maybe, you know, fill her needs.
So I really don't think he's replaced by a demon, and I really
I don't think
even
he is. I think he just knows what's going on, and he has no
yes,
choice.
I don't even
Similar to,
think
like,
he's
the
like a hard.
leader.
I don't even think he's a hard coexister. I truly do think he's just doing it for safety reasons, like for him and his family and for certain people. Like I don't think he is meant to be a horrible person or a bad guy. I really do feel like he comes off more as like, I have chosen
Victim of
this.
circumstance.
I have chosen this side, and this is the side we're going to sit on.
He's like the moral side of what we saw with the guy that just died, the one that was with the coexisters.
The Adventurers Guild dude.
Yeah.
who just saw die. Like he's like the more moral side of it. Who's like, hey, I don't want to do this, but if I don't, this entire city is going to die, basically. Whereas the other guy was clearly in it for other reasons, including like he was just playing the side that was winning, whereas this is just playing the side to survive.
I'm
At
very
least that's how I view it.
I'm very curious to see if we learn what Kiwi has learned from like the books that
book.
that Venetem was leaving, and
I guarantee it was probably just a book of like his previous writings he was looking at.
maybe that is probably a safe bet. But
Because it was a specific room only for officers and stuff, and not for the public. So anything could be in there.
But yeah, to cycle back to the thing Sean had mentioned, because we were talking a call before you guys got here, and I'm like trying to figure exactly why in my head I have generally enjoyed Fate more than I've been enjoying Sentence to Be a Hero. I think I've disliked Sentence. I thought it's been great the whole time, but I think my biggest thing was, which is gonna sound weird because Fate's system is just they're doing another fucking Grail War, is that the general story setup of like what we're doing, we're going from point A to point B, is literally just we're following a group of people, killing a demon, and then they kill another demon, and they kill another demon.
Campaign, brother.
and the church is evil. That was the other thing.
Yeah,
and
the church is evil. What the
I
fucking
love
do?
a
We gotta
good
take down the
critical
church.
role arc, guys. What can I
Like
say?
these characters are all really solid. Thinking about the full cast, I think my thing is also my least favorite part of this cast is Xylo and Tayarita. I think Xylo's much less interesting than the other heroes.
I
It's because
love
he's kind
Xylo.
of the normal guy of the group. He's
I
just
think
kind of a
Xylo's
guy who's
extremely
spiteful.
interesting.
yeah, I think Xylo's incredible. Like to me, he is. I think he is deceptively interesting in that. Like
Mm.
I think for most people, he feels very plain. But that's it. Truly, in my opinion, is that like all of his stuff is internalized problems and issues, and so you don't really get to unpack a lot of it until the show really opens it up for you. And like by far the thing I think is the biggest detriment to Sins to Be a Hero is that we haven't gotten more about Xylo and the goddesses. Like if a little break from the demon killing to get a little more of that, and I think this show would be hands down for sure
also,
my
like you said,
favorite
there's-
thing over Fate.
Bringing in more of the goddesses. Like we've only met one of them. There's 13 in total that have ever been alive, right? And we know, like
We met
I
obviously,
mean, I assume we're
If you
supposed-
count
we're supposed to
Terra-
assume
actually.
most of them have been killed at this point.
oh, yeah, we did meet. Was it 3 other
We
ones?
met the poison
So,
one.
I know the
so we met
poison
the
one.
poison one, and then we technically met the one that died in his arms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that. But
Yeah, so if
I
you wanna
mean,
count
like, of the
three.
ones that are still alive is what I meant to say.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
at least
well, that's the thing is they said we have like 6 left alive.
yeah, and
total?
we know of like 2 of them, 2 additional
Yeah.
ones I think, because one's a clairvoyant, but it's at yeah that I think is an area where I feel like the show would be stronger. I think legitimately what where I sit is that I think I like both of these shows almost an equal amount.
Yeah.
Like this is really hard for me. I actually don't know. I haven't fully decided which way I'm gonna swing yet.
I think for me, the thing is, for one, the complexity of their stories, in the sense of, I think Sentence to Be a Hero has a relatively complex narrative on the back end of like
Yeah.
the world building and like what's going on behind the scenes. And I like that because it's enough to make you think about it, but it's not enough to make your brain spin. And Fate is not that. Fate throws a lot of things at you and expects you to just kind of get it. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. It also, while being a decent like jumping on point for Fate, it also definitely relies on a lot of stuff from previous Fates at points. And as someone who's barely interacted with the series, I feel a bit lost sometimes. And I don't know, I think while Fate is definitely the better show in terms of production, um I think it also kind of has that like it's an established series, so it gets that budget and like that production value versus this, which is I had never heard of this manga before this season. And this show kind of came out of the gate and swept all of us, I think,
Yeah.
of like how good it was.
Yes,
I kind of have to give it those props of like it's doing some crazy shit and making a dark fantasy that I don't hate for any particular reason. I don't know. I think while I like both of these shows pretty equally, I think I personally, while this week Fate had the better episode, I think Sense to Be a Hero for me has just been a little better over the season. But
I
We'll
think
see.
one of the major drawbacks to Fate, on top of the things you mentioned, is I think it spun its wheels just probably an episode or two too
Yeah.
long, introducing everything and setting up everything. Which, like, what are you gonna do when you have fucking 19 to 25, 38 characters involved in what you're doing? And like, yeah, that's a lot. You need time to do it. I don't blame them. But like we've had Sentences has more time to flush out a little more in depth, a smaller cast that is still quite large. And I do really enjoy the cast of Sentence to Be a Hero a fair amount. While there might be a handful of people in Fate that I really like their characters, who I think are absolutely incredible, there's a really strong argument that we haven't gotten enough of those characters to really push me towards it. I haven't decided yet. Still, there's a chance I shoot both, just because I just might. That just might be what I do. We'll see.
I would never do that.
Everybody but Michael shoots both, and then Fate walks out okay.
yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah. So what
I'll
happens?
shoot both. We let God decide.
If most of us shoot both, we still let God decide. We'll have to see.
Ooh.
Mason. Journal.
So journal this week, we kind of start off with Asa's trying to figure out how to write lyrics, and meanwhile Makio's on the phone with Kasamichi because his dad's in the hospital. He's venting about it. Then we get Asa on her way to school, and she runs into Emery at the gates, as well as her friend Chicho. Chichi. Um, and we just kind of get this conversation of like, Asa's in the conversation, but not really. And
Talking about
Chi-Chi is
STEM.
yeah, they're talking about STEM because they're both going to be in the science track next year. Asa's like, oh, okay, cool.
Fucking nerd.
After that, they discuss this is a bit later, but they discuss that in the band club, um, they're going to be having like live auditions for the like actual band club's band for a singer, just by like just go up and sing something during a concert or like a concert in the park. We also end up getting a discussion with Makio and Asa about like, hey, a couple of things. First of all, when's your birthday? Because I never asked. And Asa's like, yeah, it's a while back. She's like, ah, shit. Okay, we're gonna celebrate that when that comes up. We'll also celebrate mine. I'm just never been a birthday person, but like it matters to you, so we should.
The fucking cut of like, when's your birthday? Cuts to the fucking calendar. She says September. It's January. She's like,
Yup.
I'm the fucking worst. And Elsa's like, I just thought it wasn't a big deal, like with you, so that was cool. And she's like, no, I'm the worst. We gotta celebrate both now.
Then she also goes, hey, by the way, the anniversary of your parents' death is coming up. We can do anything you want, and that includes nothing. But like, just let me know if you want to do something, because like we probably should do something for you. Anyways, and then we cut to just after Juno visited, I believe, that we got last episode, where they're like Makio or Makio is walking Juno back and is like, yeah, like I got a couple more years, but Asa's 15, so like after that, like I can go back to being a loner. And Juno's like, nah, bud, that's not how that works. Like you're not a parent, but you're a parent. Like you don't get to turn that off anymore. And Makio's like, oh shit, I guess I gotta think about that. Okay, cool. Hey, by the way, can you send me that embarrassing photo you showed me that one time? We cut to her back at the apartment. She looks at the photo and then she swipes through and realizes that she has quite a lot of photos of Asa actually now, and she's like, oh shit. Guess I am a parent. Whoops. After that, we cut to Emery leaving cram school. And there's like Asa and Emery had like talked about like boys and stuff, and there was also like someone at cram school is like, oh yeah, this person is dating this person. She's like, okay, I don't care. And after cram school, Emery goes to this cafe and meets up with a friend. Asa messages Emery and she doesn't really respond and doesn't read it, which is, their thing. I just want to say, called it.
Yep.
These two are definitely this is definitely a date. They're absolutely on a date right now.
No, they're just studying, Mason.
Look, they're just intertwining their fingers together and going do 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 do.
They're
Totally
anatomy,
totally
guys.
straight.
Chill. They're definitely. Listen, they're like 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Okay,
Well,
the
yeah,
more important
exactly.
part of this scene.
And eventually, they're talking about it because her friend is like, hey, you're getting some texts. Is that like a relative? And she's like, no, it's my friend, the one that I told you about that lost her parents. She can wait. It's fine. And she's like, that's your friend. If you want to take it, you can. She's like, no. Our families were really close. And like, it really hit hard when she lost them, because I knew them too. And they were another set of parents. And the night that it happened, Asa texted me, told me, and my first immediate thought was, I can never not be friends with her anymore. Because I am the first person she turned to after such a huge, monumental, life-changing loss. And I don't know how to deal with that. It's not like I don't want to be her friend, but it's also a lot of responsibility and weight on my shoulders, and I don't know how to handle that. And her friend's like, wow, that's okay. That's a lot.
That's
But
not
also, like,
that's not true. She has a much
No,
better response than that.
You're right.
Because she says to her, but you have been her friend and you haven't stopped being her friend and you're literally still here for her. So you don't have so it's not a problem. Like she quite literally was like, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Like, you are her friend, you still treat her like her friend. You like being friends with her. It's okay. And then they do the finger thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I watched all of
No,
these
you're good.
episodes today,
You're
so
okay.
like they kind of blended together. And after that, it's the last thing we end up doing. Oh yeah, Asa ends up like running into her friends from the band club. Is like, hey, I'm not gonna try out for this. Like, what? She's like, yeah, no, I just don't feel like I want to or need to, and I don't want to stand out. So I'm not trying out. And they're like, oh man, I thought you probably could have honestly done it. That sucks. She's like, well, oh well, and just kind of walks off. I believe that's how we end the episode.
She walks into
Oh
the
no,
room.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she walks, as she's walking out of the school, she walks past a room and she sees Chi-Chi like screaming about something, and she's very pissed off. She listens in, and Chi-Chi's like, I got a perfect score and they are going to deny me because I'm a woman? What the fuck? And it cuts to over her shoulder where there's an article about a university that was taking away like on test scores based on just wearing female uniforms or something like that.
It was based off of how women dressed while taking their like entrance exam.
Yeah,
basically, I think is what it said.
docked them for like
And they were
not
docking their score
following perfect uniform policy. Exactly is what it
Yeah.
seemed like.
from like their admissions, basically,
Yeah.
which would never happen in America.
never.
Guys. We would never.
Never.
There's no nepotism in America, guys. That's not real. Trust me, I'm a white male.
Trust us, we're a podcast. Trust us, this
Yeah.
podcast.
We're a bunch of white guys on a podcast on the internet. You can trust us, if anybody.
And our one non-guy isn't here.
But why do you think we're talking about it?
Exactly. This episode's really good. I mean, by far, perhaps my the Emery conversations are really wonderful. The text, seeing the text come from Asa, that just is, my parents are dead. What do I do?
What do?
Yeah, completely
Yeah,
understandable.
when I, think of
I
this episode,
totally
that
get
is the
the-
scene
yeah.
that sticks out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also
it's my parents, they're gone, and it's like, oh dear God, that was
Yeah.
it's also the fact that you watch it as each of the messages come through. So there is the pause before she
There's a
sends the
pause.
what do I do, where it's like it very clearly encaptures exactly how the show's portrayed also the entire way through, of just like
Looking for direction.
yeah, exactly, right.
Which like clearly like her mom put a lot of direction in her life, you know.
Yeah, I'm a little I'm not like super hard interested in the band stuff, and I honestly think that's because I don't think they jumped on this soon enough.
Hell.
Like I wanted this
Hell.
I wanted this earlier, and I'm getting it now, and it's fine. I'm glad I'm getting it, but like I'm nowhere near as interested in all the band stuff as much as I am everything else, because we spent so much more time with everybody else in this show, and the bandmates are kind of like a second, like a completely third or fourth thought in my mind right now to what we're doing. But it is important because it's building into what Oz is going through. And I am interested to see, obviously, what exactly is going to happen from here. We also keep seeing shots of this baseball boy, which I imagine we're doing something with him. Because I can't imagine he would keep showing up if we weren't.
He's playing baseball.
True.
Hey,
Spring training's ending in
That's
4 days.
amazing.
That's why they're getting ready for the baseball season.
Yeah.
World Baseball Classic was airing while this was going on, so that's why they're
Trying
in
to
the
think.
mood. The animators.
There was another scene that I'm trying to remember that I really liked from this episode. I'm trying to think of which one it was.
I
There's a-
really enjoyed the Juno bit.
Yes,
That was-
that is what it is. You're right. That is exactly what it is.
I figured, yeah.
I like it more because watching it, to me, it is less of Juno going, "You are a parent." It is more going, the connection you two have now is not something that either of you is just going to walk away from. Like, it is that point where it's like, you are here with her and helping her through a very important part of her life, like, from what she's going through, but also, like,
your own important part of your life.
yeah, but also, like, this is also, like, fundamentally where her life changes. Like, whether if her parents didn't die or not, like, this time in where she is at in her life is a huge crossroads. And because you are the person who is with her, like, she's going to keep coming back to you at a bunch of different moments.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get all the flashbacks of her thinking about the moments with her and Asa that led her to this. And it's like, yeah, you were already in too deep when you started. There was no... The fact that you even took her in was a sign that you were never getting out of this.
You started this, you
Yeah.
gotta finish it. Yep. It's really good, man. Characters in the show are just so good. Like, it-
Show's incredible.
It just
This
speak- it speaks
episode
to
hitting
me
us
so
with the
much.
hey, it's almost the anniversary, and you're like, it hasn't only been like
year?
14 days. What do you mean it's
Right?
been almost a year?
Bro, she just cried for the first time like 2 episodes ago. What do you mean it's been a year?
Was that like 2 episodes ago? Was that 6 months ago? Was that a day ago?
Well, no, it was in
that
December, so
yesterday?
it was literally like a week ago, because it was in December.
Yeah. it
We
was in
actually have
December.
the timetable pretty tight for this last couple of episodes.
No, we don't, Sean. We can't read.
That's
We
true.
watch, just
That's
like
true.
JJK fans, we can't read.
Which is unfortunate because this season requires a lot of reading for that show.
It requires a lot of comprehension.
Don't
which
worry
people
about
clearly
it.
do not have.
Don't
looking
worry
at Twitter.
about that.
It's very funny.
It's so fun.
Maybe the anime fans will better understand the
Guys,
simple
Hikaru's
domain than
song
me.
Literally needs to be Wazillion Fong. It's so awesome and cool.
Like,
Even though it's literally stated that it is the opening to a fucking rom-com. Anyway.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
no, Journal's rough, man. The show hurts to watch, but it's good.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
hurts in a
Just
good
a good
way.
hurt.
It's like, man, that sucks.
Oh, it's number on Annie list. It's number 2 highest rated right now because beyond fucking Freerin.
Yeah. Which is now apparently getting passed by Steel Ball Run, even though like 3 episodes are out.
Is it
No, only
just
one's out for
one?
Steel
It's
Ball Run.
just one.
It's literally one,
I
but
don't-
it's part 7.
It's part 7. And
Care
that,
if we stop rating shows before like at least half the season is out.
No,
No, of
I
course.
mean,
never.
I've seen
That's-
one episode, and this show is a 10 out of 10 or whatever. It's like,
I still don't think
it's
it should be
stupid.
a full-time
I
work.
want you to know. I
No,
want you to
correct,
know.
it's dumb.
I came into work, and one of the guys at work goes, "Have you watched the episode of Steel Ball Run?" And I went, "No." And he goes, "I've watched it 3 times in 3 different languages." I go, "What was the third one?" He went, "German." I went, "Why? Why'd you watch Steel Ball Run in
Just
German?"
because.
He
I
was
watch
like,
Freeman in German for the authentic experience.
True. You know,
A
don't
true.
read
he told me that.
A weeb watches the sub.
He
a
told
man
me-
watches the dub. A true connoisseur watches in the native language of the show that it's portraying.
I told him, I was like,
wait,
"This is a good
who's
point."
gonna watch DBZ in Spanish with me
Yes,
or
I'll-
Portuguese?
I'll do it, dude. Why
Portuguese.
not?
I think Portuguese would be the
Why
more
not?
appropriate.
El
for that.
Kame!
Let's
See!
let's get into episode 10 of Polar Opposites. So Tani is trying to figure out how to comprehend what has happened to him because Suzuki kissed him on the cheek last time. And now they're at school, and everything seems normal, and that's weird to him. And he hasn't quite figured out what they're doing, but he doesn't really have time to figure it out because they got the class trip coming up. It's field trip time, baby. And so their teacher's like, okay, I don't fucking know what we're doing, so I'm gonna leave it to you guys to figure out what we're doing. And they're like, cool, neat. And everyone gets together and they start to work on stuff, and they got too many fucking hands in this room to accomplish anything. And so Yamada's like, what if I just fucking dip? And so we cut on over and we see completely opposite. Nishi and Honda do not have too many hands. In fact, they only have their hands. And they're making good progress, but like they definitely could have used an extra person or two. And Honda's like, so what's going on with you and Yamada? And then Yamada walks in, and he's like, hey, we got too many people. You don't got enough people. What if I just start helping out? And Honda's like, this is perfect. Yes, ideal. Let get over here. I like watching this. This is gonna go great. And it goes pretty good. They get all the work done, and Honda's like, cool. I'm gonna go take all of this stuff. I'm gonna go take guys. I can't handle you. Honda's like, I'm gonna go take all of the completed work to the office, and you two have fun. And so she leaves, and Nishi is in a panic because she doesn't know. She's run out of things to talk about, and she doesn't know what she's gonna do. And Yamada just goes, hey, when you know where you're going on your class trip, you should just like tell me that in secret. And Nishi's like, oh, I totally know why he's asking me this. There is no... I cannot deny what is going on here. He wants to know where I am going on the class trip so that we can spend time with each other. This is... I now understand what's going on. And she just, with her hands covered, face blushing, she's like, yeah, we'll do. I can do that. And then I believe at this point we cut over to Azuma stuff. Azuma is, I'm trying to remember the order in which this happens. I believe she is coming to school the next day with one of her, or a couple of days later with one of her friends. And her friend's like, yeah, nobody fucking gives their opinion about anything relating to the class trip, so all our shit's decided. I made all the decisions. No one wanted me to give me any hard decisions or directions about what they were interested in, and now they're all complaining that I went behind their back. They're a bunch of idiots, and I'm fucking pissed. And Azuma's like, yeah, you know what? That's totally fair. And then she thinks about it, and she's like, I didn't really give any input about what I wanted to do either, huh? Maybe that's why our class isn't, like, making any progress whatsoever. And so she gets to class, and the teacher's like, so, we're behind? And Suzuki's like, damn, yeah, I guess it does kind of feel like it, huh? And the professor goes, okay, you're gonna make groups? You're gonna do groups of two or three boys or girls, and then you're gonna combine the groups of 2 or 3 boys and girls, and you're gonna make a group of 6 or 4, or some combination of it. You could have 5. So it would be between 4 and 6 is the people in the group. And it cuts to Azuma, and she's like, wait a minute. We got Taira, Tani, Yamada, and we got Suzuki, and Suzuki's 2 friends, Watanabe and Sato. And she's like, fuck, I'm totally gonna get cut out of this group because Suzuki's so fucking tight with Watanabe and Sato. That's not good. I guess I'll just have to deal with that. And she looks over at Suzuki and she's like, you're fine. I'll go. She like hand motions, gang signs. She's gonna go with a different group. She has no idea who, but she's gonna go with a different group. And Suzuki goes, gotcha. And she raises her hand and she goes, hey prof, can we like have 4 people? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just make it work. Because he does not give a single fuck. And Suzuki's like, cool, now there's 7 of us. And Azuma's like, I can't believe that worked. Why did that work? I don't have to worry about that. That's neat, I guess. And so she is now, Azuma is now leaving the classroom, and she's thinking about it, and she's like, that did go better than I thought, but like, I don't get something's bothering me, and I don't know what it is. Like, I don't understand why I feel like I feel bothered by all of this going on right now, and Taira's like, oh, hey, hi. The problem is that you can talk to me like there's no problem and like it's normal because there is absolutely no social expectation or hierarchy regarding or dynamic. In fact, it's almost like you're looking down at me. Like, you don't even see me as a person is really how this feels. Like, so you have no problem talking to me, but those people, like, you're worried about how they're gonna feel about you. And she's like, oh shit, that's totally it. And he's like, yeah, you totally do look down on me. And she's like, no, that's not it, idiot. She's like, I don't know what this feeling is, but that's absolutely it. She doesn't like being alone. She doesn't want to be alone. And we get a flashback with her and some classmates from middle school where essentially, like, they were like, hey, you're our friend, right? You're gonna help her hook up with this guy, right? Like, because we're friends. And she's like, yeah, sure. Because she wants to be included. And so her and Tyra start walking home. He's like, God, she's gonna fall. We're gonna go home together on the train again. I need a break from her. And he's like, I'm gonna go into this store. I'm gonna stop into the store. And she goes, yeah, cool, me too. And he fucking loses his mind. Meanwhile, we see that Suzuki and Tani are walking with their group, and everybody's kind of like, hey, Suzuki, you've been a little weird today. And she's like, what? No, me? Never. And Tani realizes that she's also a little flustered about the kiss. And so that wraps up their thing. And then we get Azuma starts to walk home alone. And as she's walking home alone, Watanabe and Sato join her. And they're like, yeah, we were going to go shopping. And you know this route better than we do. So, like, we figured, like, you want to tell us some stuff about what we're looking for? And she's like, yeah, sure. And as they're about to part, she's like, hey, Azuma's like, can I go shopping with you? And they're like, thank God, we thought you'd never ask. Please get over here. We love your company. And so she has friends. Whoa, crazy. And now we get to the class trip. The group splits off based on assignments. Suzuki is with Tani. And Watanabe, they are making like flower art, like pastry art. The thing from Daemon. And they meet up with Honda and Nishi, and they chat a bunch. And then it dawns on Suzuki that everywhere Honda and Nishi are going, they're going. And she realizes it's because Yamada's been pushing to go to all the same places, and she realizes he's so fucking good at his job. She's so proud of that boy. She raised that boy. And then we cut back to the gang after the first day. They're all relaxing in their rooms, and we're with the girls. And the two extra girls who are just with them in the room, because they have a very large room, are like, Suzuki, we hear you're dating Tani. Is this true? Please, yes, no. And then they fucking bombard Suzuki with questions until she goes and hides in a blanket in a closet because she can't handle it anymore. Mainly because they want to know how far the two of them have gotten, and her answer is, I've kissed his cheek, and she's not sharing that information. And then we get a hot spring scene where she wants to, she's in her own head so much about how far their relationship's come along, and Ozma joins her, and she's like, I need to know what's going on. I can't handle, like, the amount of progress we've not made. And Ozma's like, I actually think it's really good and wholesome and endearing that you're, like, going at your own speed. That you're, like, that you aren't getting caught up in all of this. Like, it's totally fine. And then Suzuki's like, wait, we're about to leave the bath? This means that I need to go find Tani so that he can see me in my natural state. Without any makeup, hair freshly washed, I must go find my boy. And thus she finds her boy. She's sitting in the waiting room, and so she surprises him and scares him. And then they sit down, and they have a really nice talk where they're talking about how Tani is, like, in this big room with all these people who he normally doesn't talk to, and he's not used to, like, this kind of social interaction. She's like, which one do you prefer, being alone or talking with people? And he's like, it's not about preferring one or the other. I actually quite like both. Like, I would not experience one of these things normally, and now that I have, it is like, it is both scary but also enjoyable. And she's like, oh, that's really insightful. God, I fucking love you. And then she calls him by his first. She goes, you scat, I love you. And then she gets really in her own head, and she's like, I can't believe all I was thinking about was, like, kissing this fool when we have such a nice relationship. And then Tani gets real close to her, and it goes, View, and he literally is about to go and say I love you and kiss her, and she goes, time to go back to our rooms. We're done for the day. We're out of here. Because you're not allowed to get your full kiss yet. Not happening yet. Nope.
No, we gotta save that for the season finale.
Somewhere in there. This is a good episode.
It's a really good
Dude, oh my god, Nishi and Yamada are fucking adorable. I love them so much. The two of them are are perfect.
Somehow, my favorite couple is the one that we get the least amount of, like, being an actual couple, which is Tyra and Ozma. Because I love those two together so fucking much.
Well, they're not a couple yet.
No, but like they're absolutely a couple. They just don't know.
Tyra
it
needs this so he could fix his self-esteem issues. Ozma
Bro,
needs it because she
really.
just needs someone at all times.
She needs someone who gets her, and boy does Tyra somehow get her.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
John,
that
you're
Suzuki
muted
makes the
if you-
connection that lets to like why
Tyra's my
Yamada
goat.
and Nishi's group are. It's like the wait a second.
Wait a second.
Like,
Why is he so
We
letting go?
pitched these ideas and he was so into it. What do you mean he just didn't want to go see
Hmm.
castles? He had reasons for this?
wait, you're telling me Yamada, who cannot focus on anything, was all in on making Japanese sweets?
Bro's locked the
Huh.
fuck in on this.
And then lost the draw to go do it. He didn't fucking
Yeah.
get to go do it. My poor boy. Yeah,
It's
it's
great.
what's wonderful is that like Tani and Suzuki's relationship is like a semi-slow burn. Like they hop into it really fast, you get a lot of it at the front, and then as they're figuring things out, the show opens up to build up other characters and their relationships. So like it feels natural. Like it's not just like you're not just focusing on these characters because like they're here and the show needs to put them in somewhere. Like Tani and Suzuki are all on kind of a cooldown. Like they're in a very stable and okay place in their relationship after everying.
They're
Oh.
in a healthy relationship that is learning
Yes.
how it works.
We also get a really great line from the two girls who are who as they're talking to Suzuki about her and Tani are like, "Well, wait a minute. How long have you guys been dating? What exactly were you two doing when they had to call you to the auditorium for that meeting that you missed?" And I think that is so funny. Michael had to stop and double take because Tani goes, "Yeah, we were playing a card game." And he goes, "What fucking card game is
It's
that?"
fucking Magic the Gathering.
Is
I'm
it?
Convinced.
Is that what it's supposed
It could
to
be. It could be. I think it's
It
very.
looks like Magic cards.
It's very
Does anyone that knows
non.
Magic the Gathering? It's your boy Mason.
It's very
I don't
non.
think they don't have a large enough background.
It's
to be,
very-
like, a man.
It's very nondescript, is what I'll say. And it is the exact same shot in the manga because I was curious enough to go check this.
But my thought process is that it's a person. They're trying to portray Yu-Gi-Oh while having never actually played Yu-Gi-Oh. There's just cards everywhere.
It's playing
No,
Uno.
so like, what I think it is that they're the absolute fucking heathens that put their mana in the front.
Yeah. They threw up a little bit. I didn't know people did that, and I don't want to
Yes.
find people doing it.
I know several people who do that, and I hate playing Magic with them.
They put They put the mana in front of their cards.
Yes, It's-
Oh.
so wrong.
I think it's the Yu-Gi-Oh thing where you need like characters, resources. You know.
But
Yeah, the
That's
characters
not
are
even
looking
how-
at each other. They got to be right next to each
I
other.
hate that.
It's just how every card game is. It's how every card game is. There's not
Yeah.
a single card
Yeah.
game where like your resource thing isn't like below your actual playing field. Like it just doesn't work that way.
and like
I blame
even
Duel
the big mana
Masters.
deck, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, why would you reach farther for the thing that you're tapping all the time?
Because I need
Trying
to
hide your
because I
creatures,
need
people
to
are less
read
likely to think about
because
them.
I don't
No,
need to read
genuinely,
my
that's the reason why they do that.
but also they don't need to read their lands. They know what most of their lands do. They need to read all their creatures, so it's quicker for them to read. Assuming they read.
You know, that just doesn't make sense to me, but I understand it.
I love Polar Opposites. I'm biased,
Good
but I
Polar
love
Opposites
Polar
are awesome.
Opposites. Again, for the show, during the scene where it is Yamada asking Nishi where to tell him where she's gonna go for the trip, the music in that scene is fucking phenomenal. That track is incredible. It's a different one than the usual one that I always bring up because I really like that other track. But this one, yeah, this one fucking rules. This one's great.
Very good. Yeah, show's just peak. I don't know. I just love all parts of it. And have
Cinema.
since like the start. I think it's just like our most consistently good show the entire time, basically.
I mean, what a fucking incredible top four. that we've been. I mean, this was a pretty good
This was
season
a pretty good
overall.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
There's no show that I felt like
good.
overstayed its welcome this entire season almost.
Yeah,
You know?
and like
We
all
don't-
of,
yeah,
I think
true.
all of our shows were
I
at the
think
very
Rollover,
least
Rollover and
solid.
Die got to Rollover and
I-
Die got to fucking leave week 1.
Except for Rollover and Die, I think that show's bad.
That's
I-
fair.
I
I,
forgot
agree.
that one existed.
I agree.
I didn't like Moonlit.
I also
Which
didn't
one?
really like Moonlit.
Into the Moonlit Dust.
Just-
Oh,
Midnight-
oh,
Midnight
yeah,
Dust,
I
yeah.
forgot about that one.
Into Clear Moonlit Dust against what the fucking full title was.
Yeah, that,
I didn't care about. Again, that show had the problem of also being right next to a significantly better romance, in my opinion. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, these two characters are just boring. I don't care.
I think we have everything.
Nope.
I have not.
Oh, okay.
Austin voted. Yeah.
Austin's
Okay, I didn't realize Austin had
Yeah.
voted. Okay.
Good time. I just look forward to watching the rest of our shows with dubs. I had Florida in the finals. No. My bracket. No. Sports ball.
Guys, viewers, I can tell you already because I, regardless of what Michael does, I am very confident there are going to be no slays on Journal or Polar Opposites. Just to,
Okay, just gonna slay those right.
yeah, go ahead, Michael. Fuck with the data. There's a reason I don't keep track of this stat anymore.
Making sure I actually click things correctly. Because the words save and slay are very similar.
No, they're not. What do you mean?
There are similar words. You are right.
And this, who could have possibly seen this coming? I did because I knew what Austin voted. I knew ahead of time what was probably gonna happen here. So there are 4 slays on Fate and 4 slays on Sentenced. That means me, John, and Austin voted slay on both, I assume. And Mason stuck to support Sentence and Michael stuck to support Fate.
Yep.
I was quite confident that was what was gonna happen. I do have a message from Austin. He said, I shot both Hero and Fate. If it goes to the wheel, it goes to the wheel. He was quite comfortable and confident
that's-
about this
That's
set of
top
fair.
events.
32 Houston competitor and world championship qualifying competitor, Austin Lee to you.
Yeah.
Shouts to my goat. Austin's in Houston right now, so he couldn't do the podcast. He got convinced to go out and have a good time with his B&B mates, which well deserved on a great season for Austin. He will be probably playing at the World Championships and not just attending like me. So good for him.
Hell yeah.
So
Alright.
the show this hits is gone.
Yes.
So that's how that works.
So I could have taken the easy way out and not slayed my show. But that's too fucking easy, baby. It truly is Year of John on the wheel.
Yeah, we gotta do something about this. This has to stop.
I've been winning all the 50-50 wheels this season. That's pretty funny.
You have.
Yeah.
It doesn't
But
happen
also-
very often. To be
You've
fair,
been on the wheels that much.
to be fair, the cloth of averages was
Yeah,
bound to flip around.
stop getting on the wheel.
No.
No. So yeah, we will be finishing. I mean, Michael and I will probably go watch. I mean, Michael's probably gonna go binge all of Fate tonight. The rest that's out.
We're also
Maybe.
gonna watch it.
But I mean, I will probably watch this with. He'll probably rewatch it with me when we go watch everything else, because I'll probably want to finish what's out as we go. But we will be finishing for the podcast. Sentence, Polar Opposites, and Journal. So we'll be back for those. A top 3 finish for me, Mason, and John. And we will see which show is going to get that. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time on the 5th.
5th.
On the 5th?
Yeah.
We're back when we're back.
Yeah. Plenty of time for me to go finish Chainsaw Man so that we can talk about it very briefly, surely, at the start of this podcast. Surely.
Yeah, we can chat about it. I'm sure I will read the last chapter the day it comes out. So
2 days.
I know. It's wild.
Well, that'll be it for
Chainsaw Man.
that'll be it for tonight. Austin will be joining us for the finale. He will be back